Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another Premier Injuries Roundup. Games are coming thick and fast, and so are the injuries. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do click that button. We're dropping videos all of the time, and you can be notified straight away as soon as they drop. Right, we've had 5 press conferences on Thursday, and I'll also touch upon a few updates that we had from Wednesday evening in the Carabao Cup. But first, we'll head to Arsenal. We've had images from the training ground today. We've seen Martin Odegaard taking part in sessions, but there was no Kieran Tierney there. We do know that he's took part in aspects of training over the last few days, but he hasn't been able to complete a full session due to heavy bruising on his left ankle. Now, Tuesday night's lineup against Leeds in the Carabao Cup might be an indication from Mikel Arteta that Kieran Tierney remains 50-50 for the game. Of course, Nuno Tavares started against Aston Villa, and he wasn't in that lineup against Leeds, only coming on to replace Rob Holding late in that match. So keep your eyes and ears open for that one, because as it stands, Kieran Tierney remains a doubt. Elsewhere, the big news, a lot of people asking for updates on Brentford. Of course, we know that David Raya is out of the game with Alvaro Fernandez looking to take charge for the first time in the Premier League. But Ethan Pinnock and also Brian Mbeumo, they're 2 players which will be late decisions, but Thomas Frank has said there is a good chance that both players will be involved. If I was pushed on that, I would say I'm more confident with Pinnock at this point. That injury was a knock to the hip that he originally picked up playing against Liverpool. That forced him off there. With Brian Mbeumo, we're talking about a tight hamstring. So that muscular issue, you know, they've got very high re-injury rates. And what I would say, if there are any concerns, then he won't be risked at all. But they've got one final session on Friday, and a decision will be made at that point. At Brighton, not many may be interested in the fitness of Dan Burn. He's ruled out with a knee problem, but potentially it could be, wanting to know his status, given the knock-on effect it could have on the rest of the team. Now, it was a surprise to see Shane Duffy out of last weekend's Seagulls lineup. If with Burn being out, that throws him straight back into the mix, and I do expect him to come into that backline. We've also seen the omission of Tariq Lamptey midweek. No mention from Graham Potter. We're not aware of any injuries or any problems. Looked really impressive from the bench against Manchester City. So is that an indication that Tariq Lamptey may be ready to come into the side for the first time this weekend? We'll wait and see. But look, that's good news there. Yves Bissouma, he come through the Carabao Cup game, 30 minutes with no reaction to his knee injury. That's been bothering him for around about 4 to 5 weeks now. So he's going to be back in the mix. At Burnley, practically a clean bill of health. Dale Stevens, long-term absentee. The only other issue is Wayne Hennessy. He aggravated a long-standing ankle problem, and he's had an injection to try and calm that down. Other than that, just a few knocks, niggles, bumps and bruises from the Carabao Cup, but nothing serious to worry about. At Chelsea, we heard that Cesar Azpilicueta, Andreas Christensen and N'Golo Kante, they all missed out in the Carabao Cup. Good news is they've all been pictured on the training pitches. Christensen had a surgical procedure, unspecified dental surgery procedure, so he's back. With Kante, it's muscular tightness, so his absence was more of a precautionary measure. We fully expect him in the squad. And Azpilicueta hurt his shoulder in an awkward landing in training. The 4th player pictured back on the training pitches is Christian Pulisic. Hasn't played competitively since the international break with the US men's national team. If you were to ask me at this point, I'd probably say that he's a little bit light in terms of his match fitness and sharpness, knowing how Thomas Tuchel likes to manage his players. But with the other 3 guys, I would certainly expect them to be in and around that matchday squad. At Leicester, Jamie Vardy, great news there. He is also training with the group again. Of course, he was replaced at half-time on Sunday after complaining of a niggling knee issue, underlying complaint. Brendan Rodgers said that Jamie Vardy just didn't look as dynamic and his usual self out there on the pitch against Brentford. He was replaced, but now he's back in the group. There's no issues there. So that just looks like, as if it was a minor precautionary concern. At Southampton, Big blow for Ralph Hasenhüttl and also fantasy managers who are looking to bring in a cheap attacking asset in Armando Broja. Of course, he scored 2 in 2. Now, he rolled his ankle last weekend, and Ralph Hasenhüttl was very confident that he could return in game week 10. Of course, he was ineligible for the Carabao Cup day against Chelsea, with it being his parent club. However, he is not going to be fit. He is out of the game. Better news though, the Saints will see the return of James Ward-Prowse. He's completed a 3-match ban. And we could also see Mohamed El Yunusi return to the squad. He had surgery on a minor hand/thumb problem earlier in the week, and he could be involved in the squad with some kind of brace. And finally, Claudio Ranieri at Watford. He confirms that Danny Rose has recovered from a calf injury. However, following last weekend's result, it wouldn't surprise me if the Hornets were unchanged from that game. Of course, they won 5-2 at Goodison Park against Everton. We also know that Emmanuel Dennis is suspended. He begins a 1-match ban after accruing 5 yellow cards this season. That's it for Thursday. That's your quick tea time roundup. Like I say, press the notification and subscription button. And if there are any more videos dropping, you'll be the first to know. But for now, that's all.